Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, we're on the swivel at the sports bar talking about the Josh Giddey situation. Now, as some of you might know, Josh Giddey is a young man who's been accused or has been suspected of having a relationship with an underage young lady. And I think he met her in a bar, and the details are not coming out. And it was for 21s and over. So he thought she was older than she was, I think. But he's like a year out of high school when he met her. So, and everybody's like going crazy. But here's the real issue that most ESPN fans of color have with ESPN. First, ESPN is very slow to talk about on the air about white players anywhere who they have transgressions, whereas they aggressively destroy black players as soon as an allegation comes out. And so the reason why we have Stephen Smith, A. Smith, and uh, Malika Andrews up here is because Malika Andrews seemingly has a complete and utter disdain for black men. And she proves it every chance she gets. You have a blemish, that's all she wants to talk about, how bad a black man really is. And her star fell with black fans from the bubble to where she is at now. And a lot of people think she deserves to be where she's at. So I think she's one of the most disliked people on ESPN, especially from black men. And then Stephen A. Smith, he understands that he should have came out and said something about Josh Giddey as well. And even if they're just an investigation, that never stopped them from destroying black men when it's just allegations and investigations going on. Black men are plastered all over ESPN without any proof, without any charges, anything. So this whole notion that they got to wait for the investigation to be done is just pure bullshit. So I'm gonna share a little bit of what Stephen A says, and then we're gonna talk about who I think is a misandrist, Malika, and let her in her own words after she was forced to address the transgressions or maybe near transgressions of a white man, which she didn't want to do. All right. So, and listen, and this, I just want people to be treated fairly, right? But the brothers get destroyed on ESPN, and the white dudes get a pass. They get a pass, and it's one of the last places that you would think that this would happen, but it does. And I mean, I hate to sound like I nitpick this, but in a lot of other places, I never talk about race. But it's clear on ESPN how they treat transgressions or near transgression or allegations of transgressions of black men to allegations or near transgressions or allegations against white men. It's clear. You can't. It's inarguable. So anyway, so here's Stephen A. Smith first. Let's share. See what he has to say as he backpedals and all that kind of stuff.
Involving Josh Giddey. Now, let me say this to all of y'all out there who've been clamoring for me to touch on this subject. Y'all getting on my last damn nerves. Could you try to be responsible? What you want Stephen A to say? Oh, man, where you at, Stephen A? If this was a brother, wait a minute. If it was a brother, I would have treated it with the same level of sensitivity. This man, Josh Giddey, is currently being investigated by the National Basketball Association, the NBA, over allegations that he was having a relationship with a minor. You know why Stephen A hasn't said anything? Because you could get sued, idiots. You don't just go out there running your damn mouth. But this clamoring to comment about something with no information, no definitive facts, you can't do it. You can do it on social media with your troll ass selves. You can do.
So let me just stop it right there. All right. So here's where he's being disingenuous. They talk about folks with allegations all the time. So Stephen A, shame on you for coming out with some bullshit, man. You know your masters at ESPN told you guys to tone down any conversation on Josh Giddey, and they never say no such thing as if the allegations are against a black man. Never. So this is just bullshit, and you know it, and everybody else knows it. So stop, stop. All right. So and then hey, everybody remember, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna put this full thing in a link to this video with Stephen A. And I'm gonna put a link to the other video I'm gonna show Malika Andrews as well. And that's coming up right now. Without further ado, we might as well get it out of the way, and then I'll say some commentary after, we get back.
Guard Josh Giddey had an improper relationship with an underage girl. In a since deleted post, an anonymous social media user claimed a girl who was seen with Giddey in videos and images, some of which include explicit captions, was a junior in high school at the time. Giddey, who is 21, he declined to comment on Friday. And despite the serious allegations, Giddey is yet to miss a game this season. And Thunder coach Mark Daigneault, he said he will continue to be in the lineup, saying, quote, just with the information we have at this point, that is the decision we've made. It's obviously a league matter at this point, and the ball is in their court on that. Now, a league spokesperson told me this morning that the NBA is still in the process of gathering information, and we will continue to update this story as the news develops. NBA Today will be back.
All right, so that's her lukewarm, response to everybody saying, "Hey, what about Kitty?" I'll put the full link. You can see this guy's channel when you get to it. He has more stuff on it, but some pictures and some other things. But I just want you to hear what Malika had to say because she finally spoke out on this situation. Anybody who has some comments about this, hey, listen, come on and swivel at the sports ball with me. Let's talk about it. Let's chop it up. But be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell because I'm trying to put out videos and content as much as I can. I also do a show on the Black Man Unfiltered Network on Monday nights, and we come up with different topics to talk about. And you could always plug into that as well. I'll simulcast it on my channel. But anyway, listen, ESPN, you got to get your act together, right? You got to treat everybody the same. I know it's impossible because the people at the top have their own biases. And, I guess this is how life goes. Anyway, our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.